Hi, everybody. Welcome to Thinking Out Loud. It's time to kick off our Friday evening with some lively and fun discussions. My name is Arizona Lowe. I'll be one of your hosts, and our other host is the beautiful Katrina Pfannkuch. Hi, Katrina.
Hey there, Arizona. How are you today?
I'm good. We've got a little bit of sunshine today.
Yay!
I know.
Well, I just want to give everybody a heads up. We have a fun little guest in the background. I don't know if you can see him. It's my kitty cat, Monty. He's sleeping away back there for those cat fans in our audience. So hopefully you can check him out while we're chatting. He's all zenned out back there. So he's creating a good vibe for the show. It's always nice.
It is.
Yeah.
And so today we wanted to, it's summertime, time to talk about summer vacations. And I have decided to bring on Elaine Nieberding. I think I got it right.
You did. Absolutely.
So how are you today, Elaine?
I am good. Even though it is hot, humid, and sweaty if I were outside, I'm in this nice, cool place with very cool people, and I even put on my crisp white summer shirt. I'm feeling good.
Yes, and tell us a little bit about your jewelry, your fun jewelry.
Oh, you know, these are cheap and fun. This is cheap and fun. I don't usually wear these on my, Tuesday Holy Shift show. I thought, I'm loosening up. We're talking about vacation, loosening up, setting ourselves just a little bit to go into different free space. So decided to do that.
Oh, perfect. Well,
that is awesome.
Yeah, and in our, I think that Arizona's got a fun little person to introduce too before we kick off the interview.
I do. This is my granddaughter, Miss Madison. You say hi? No. So we will try to keep the wiggling to a minimum, but no promises.
Okay. I gotcha. Well, obviously with summer's almost in full swing here, we're kind of getting into that mode, summer brain. And I think that brings up a really good point because I know that, Elaine, she does laughter yoga, she does wellness Wednesdays, she's got her own show, the Holy Shift show. You do a lot of different stuff, but I think really where your focus is play. And I think when we're talking about summer, that's the first thing that comes to mind for me. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your thoughts on playfulness in the summertime and kind of getting into that mood?
Playfulness in the summertime. Well, when we think about vacation, often we think about doing something a little bit out of the norm of our usual routine. It might be place that we're going to be, and place can be a physical place, or place can be kind of the state of mind and attitude that you're in. So summer invites us to play. If you're in the northern hemisphere, then perhaps the weather is warm. You're a little bit more likely to want to be, outside and not subjected to, severe elements, but depending on where you live, that will be true or not true. But all of my work is really around encouraging people to bring more play into your life. So if summertime is when you're thinking about just opening up to a little bit more freedom, and that is a great F word, isn't it, freedom, and play, then that's a good thing. However, when you begin thinking about vacation, it really, like most anything else in life, requires this balance of thinking about play and thinking about planning. Feeling and thinking and taking the steps that might ensure that your experience is going to be helpful and healing and actually leave you refreshed. So your vacation just is not time away where you're escaping, and then when you come back you're going, oh my God, I'm back to this again.
Right.
Hopefully your playtime will help you to make a shift.
Yeah, and I think, just in looking at all of the elements that go into planning a vacation, like you were saying, it's the can you actually mentally relax once you're there too? Or is your mind going to be constantly caught up in like, okay, I'm here, I got here, but what's going on at home? So, there is that definite balance of saying, okay, how can you be present in that space? How can you really be present with what's happening right now so that you are able to enjoy the whole part of the experience? And I think, in the green room, we're talking a little bit about play and planning. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about that? What are some ways that people can really kind of make the planning part fun, especially if they are even staying home? Because I do think a staycation does require a little planning, that you're stepping away from your regular routine.
Well, as we talk about this almost makes me think about reversing the tendency to get overwhelmed with all the things you start remembering that you might need to do to be successful in your planning. Like work at your planning.
Right.
So you have to bring a little play to your planning. So let's just imagine, kind of in laughter fashion, we're getting out, we have a little pad here, a tablet, and here's our little pen, and we start thinking about all the things we have to do. Gee, if we're going away, we have to arrange for the mail to be held. We have to contact our neighbor. We have to let our families know. We have to make sure that we have enough credit available on our credit cards. We have to think about the clothes. We have to maybe, go to the pharmacy and get our prescriptions refilled so we have them with us. And as you start making your list, you could say, oh my God, this is a lot of work getting ready. So what I would like to invite everybody to do with me is just imagine you're getting ready to go on your vacation, and you're going to start making your list of everything you got to do before you go away. But as you start creating the list and looking at the list, you just decide you're going to laugh. You're going to play so you don't get stressed out and you can go through it. So with me, take a deep breath in, and then as you write everything down, just laugh at each thing you have on your list. Next time. And I'm inviting the audience to actually laugh with me.
Yes.
Oh! And that too. Have fun with it. Every one of those things is important to do. Just make the decision that you're going to frame it in a fun way, because it serves purpose for you being at that both new physical space and free mental space and open heart space for being on that vacation is truly going to be refreshing for you.
Yes, absolutely. And even for when you're taking a staycation, because I do feel that when you're stepping away from your regular routine, there's a tendency to still get in your mind a little bit. So, just trying to find ways to use that same sort of laughter place when you find yourself getting stuck and like, oh, well, there's dishes, but, maybe right now I'm sitting outside in the yard and I don't need to worry about those. And then you laugh your way through that. So I love how you're kind of bringing attention to that mindfulness and saying, okay, when you think it, laugh, because it does lighten that tension.
It really does. And when I share tips about doing laughter as an intentional practice, while it is great fun to occasionally get together with folks who might be doing this laughter practice stuff, like I do on Laughter Hangouts from time to time, where you might be doing this laughter exercise for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, kind of with a group of other people online or in person. That's fun, but that requires a little more setup. If you can just give yourself permission to intentionally laugh a little bit more often, even with this silent laughter, when you're noticing yourself stressed, take a deep breath in and just go.
Silent laughter never worked for me.
This one always helps shift me. Stuff can be, all shift can be happening, and if I do the silent laughter, just kind of really letting it go from my belly, it will dispel my stress.
Well, and you have to exhale anyway, so why not make it laughter?
Right.
Yeah, you already have to do that.
So Katrina, you were talking about staycations.
Yeah.
And it occurred to me, when you're doing staycations, sometimes people can think, poor me, I don't have enough money to go away. Oh, but staycations can be so wonderful. You can use those times to create days where you can, do online learning, or just, have leisure time to even go to the local places that you've been meaning to get to, but never get around to.
Right.
Or even at home or away, deciding to take a media fast.
Yes.
For some number of hours or some number of days will be remarkably refreshing. And it can bring insight, so then when you return to your more regular routines, maybe you'll become aware you don't need to do that so much. You could do that more effectively, but everybody, for vacating their mind and their refreshment, really needs to schedule in media fasts from time to time, I think.
Yes. I mean, I had my parents visiting this past week, and that was a nice way for me to kind of step away and say, hey, I need to, spend some time with them and be present, and I don't really want to be stressed about when am I going to get to my computer. If I happen to get to some stuff, that was great, but it was nice to take that nice long week away. I really did appreciate it. And I did exactly what you said. I mean, they're coming to visit me, so I was actually doing more of the local things that I don't normally do because I'm not in the tourist mode. I get to actually entertain and be the tour guide, so that was really fun. And just like I was telling you, Elaine, I know that we chatted about this a little bit offline, I got to see some baby owls in Estes Park, so that was, that little nest of baby owls. I took some pictures.
Aww.
I'm not sure if they came out very good, Arizona. I'll have to take a look at them and see if I can blow them up. But yeah, just kind of seeing their little heads bob, it's always so sweet. And it's something I can do. It's an hour away, Not outside of the I don't have to go drive somewhere far to go and experience that.
That is very cool. We have some good comments from the audience, too. Ron Schneeberger says, we have a checklist and use it every time we go on vacation. Actually, my suitcase is packed for our next vacation in September. And we do the same thing. I have a checklist also.
He's very well prepared.
No, that's amazing. And in fact, this afternoon when I was thinking about, well, I want to do some laughter yoga and weaving it in, one of the things that actually came to mind was imagining laughing while you're packing,
Yeah.
I need this, and that, and then you're trying to close it, and it's like, it's tight, and so you laugh, as you pull the zipper closed, So good for Ron. He's ahead of the game. I love it. Hi, Ron.
Wow, I can't even imagine being packed that early, but you guys were with it. You're organized. All right, so what do we have here?
Jeremy says, he says hi to all of us, and he says if you enjoy what you're doing, work isn't work, it's really play. Playfulness really plays into writing for me, laughing along.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and what a great way to, increase your imagination with your writing. Like, you're imagining this trip you're taking, right, Elaine? I'm sure just like sitting and laughing and sort of imagining this trip that you take can be really healing too.
Well, as I was telling you before we came on air, the place we're staying this year is a little more deluxe. It's a condo. It's an oceanfront condo. And not only do we have a living room that, goes onto a balcony that's oceanfront, but the bedroom the master bedroom. The master bedroom has these great windows, overlooking the ocean. We're like 4 or 5 floors up, and like that is what's healing for me, to be in a room where there's just an expansive, nourishing vista. So more than anything else, that's the thing I'm anticipating, because rain or shine, I know I'll be able to take in the vista.
Yes. And I mean, maybe there's a great place in your own neighborhood too that's the same thing. It's not necessarily far away, but you get to kind of just go to a spot in your own neighborhood or your own town where that's the same. And I think that's what's so great about what you're talking about today. It's that same energy. It's really more about the presence and the mindset that you're bringing to it.
Yep. That is it. That's it.
Yeah. And so as far as like some suggestions that you have, because I mean, obviously there's some nervous travelers out there. There's some folks that don't really like to get on the airplane, wait in line, sit in the car. There's got to be some, I'm assuming some of those things. Maybe not everybody wants to practice laughter yoga in public. Right?
Yes.
So do you have some suggestions for those that are traveling and maybe get a little bit stressed about the travel part?
One thing to say is, if you're bold enough to step into the space where you recognize being defensive and fearful is a choice. And how different it would be if you got in your car and as you're going down the highway, you just have this feeling. Like, how many other people are on vacations there? Let me just imagine. They're going someplace, they want to get there, they want to have a great experience. I often do a thing where I'm in the car. It's just I'm driving along, I see other cars, and it's like saying, bless you, have a great day, you're safe. No, it's also putting me in like an expansive, energetic place where what I'm claiming for myself, I want to extend to everybody. And right. I believe there is an enormous power when you start being that bold about your positive choices, to be safe, to be creative, to be playful. And maybe then as you start doing that more frequently, then when you have challenging circumstances come up, you're more likely to be in the presence of mind to actually have a creative and helpful solution register with you.
Yes.
Because you've gotten into the practice that says, oh, I'm here, I'm in a body, I have to protect it. Yeah. All of my work is about getting out of that sense of, I'm this body here to make it. No,
right.
It's like it's my spirit here to connect with and help everybody else remember to do that too.
I love those suggestions. That's such a great idea, because then you're not focusing so much on just yourself, like you're saying. You're kind of putting that energy out into the world in a positive way, and it's sort of sharing rather than focusing and worrying. And I love that. And what a better way to do that on the road or in the airport, because there's lots of people in the airport to do that too. Everyone's pretty stressed there.
Yeah, and it's also a way of stepping into abundance. When people explore abundance issues, they're often starting to do it related to money.
Yeah.
But this whole thing about abundance really just is about, the comfortable state of mind and place, and knowing that the universe is really operating so perfectly that what you need is going to show up when you need it, because you freely extend your good thoughts, your good wishes, and your authentic expression out into the world. It's like Marianne Williamson's most well-known quote. As you dare to shine your light, you empower everybody else to be the same bright, bold light.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
So, same idea.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think that's great. And it's such a wonderful way to look at your own space when you're out traveling. It just, like you said, it immediately shifts your attitude. And I think it actually is very uplifting. And I challenge everyone to try it. I know I'm going to. Because sometimes I don't do that as much as I should when I'm out in the world. So I think that's a great idea. And as far as the balance part of things, because I know that in any time we're kind of moving from one mindset or one space to another, that can be a little bit challenging too. I'm moving out of my home space into a space that's maybe not familiar and that's scary. When you're staying in your room, you have no idea what your hotel room is going to look like. But if you have a good mindset before you get there, you're going to say, yes, it's going to look fabulous. So I think that there is that balance that you have within, making it too much of a dream versus what the reality is. And how do you balance those things?
Well, you can, if you're envisioning the feeling of a nice experience, then that will help attract those forces to come together, so it will. But let me say, so let's say you get to the hotel room and it's a little different than what you expected. There is a way to ask, oh, I was hoping for blank. I was expecting blank. Can this be corrected? Can we be upgraded? If you don't ask, you're not going to have a possibility of having an improvement.
Right.
And if you do it nicely, you are likely to increase the chances of it helping. And you know what? Sometimes you think about the people who are behind the counter in hotels, in service industries. Sometimes their schedules are crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe a person didn't show up from work, and they're handling both the switchboard and people checking into the hotel. Okay? And you come in with an issue related to your room being a little different than what you thought.
Yeah.
So, as you approach them, like if you can connect with them at the heart space, you'll see stuff on the outside. They may look stressed or they may not look stressed, but you truly don't know the whole picture. But if you just kind of beam friendliness to the inside of them, it's amazing.
Yes.
How that can shift the dynamic, because it's not one of attack and defend. You better fix or I'm not going to be happy. It's just like, I'm inquiring.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
Is there
You're a good worker.
Yeah.
You know the resources. The ideas for the solution are going to come to you. And that's so different an attitude than, God dang it, I've been chefed again as I start this vacation.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Arizona. Did you have something you wanted to pop in there with?
Well, I was wondering, is there any way of handling your expectations prior to going? Because sometimes we build up these grandiose expectations, and then we're disappointed when we get there.
Well, once again, that all has to do with experiencing relationship. Whether you call it the mirror principle. In life is essentially going to mirror back to you what's going on with you at some level. Now, so if you're finding a reaction to a person, a place, an environment, a condition, and you find you're reactive, it's really there as a gift to you to turn around and say, is there some aspect of me that's kind of like this? So how that weaves back into expectations, I think it's just wise to plant the seeds that say, I'm doing the best I can as I'm planning and envisioning this vacation. It's going to be what it's going to be, and then set the intention. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's going to be okay.
Because it is.
It comes down to choice. You're either going to allow it to be okay, or you're going to say, I've been victimized. Well, growing up, waking up, reaching expanded, awakened awareness is about coming to say, the victim role doesn't work.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, what a instant way to kill your buzz on your vacation too. If you're super hyper focused on those things, it doesn't really allow you to kind of go and expand into the bigger expression of why you're there in the first place.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple of great comments from the audience. Jay Richardson says, just give me a nice place to pitch a tent, a nice body of water to throw a line into, and a good shade tree and take a nap under, and I'm happy.
That sounds good.
I really like Jeremy Murphy says, I love what Elaine says about abundance. I've been testing the shift, and I am truly amazed at the changes that result. Adopting the abundant mindset unlocks countless possibilities.
Possibility knocks. Oh, I love that hashtag. I'm going to steal that one, Jeremy. That is good. Way to go.
Yeah, Jay Richardson's got a good comment here too. I don't know, did you catch his other one?
Yes, even though my vacations are workations, I still have so much fun when I do work at motorcycle rallies throughout the summer, and it always feels good when I get home.
Yes.
So the work at motorcycle rallies, perhaps that's a different kind of work where he gets paid. So in that sense, it's work, but it's a different type of work. It's in a different type of environment. There's a different kind of charge and energy in that environment that nourishes him in a different way. Or, once again, sometimes people will take vacations where they do go to volunteer service and provide those gifts of sharing self in different ways. And they're incredibly nourishing.
Yeah.
And then expand this, the ability to feel like, and in my work life, I can serve more, by giving more freely. And being, feeling clear, from the inside, what I can freely give, so that other people then feel like it's not, it's not always about the transaction.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. When our spirits are connecting and we're actually interacting with, the person on the other end of the transaction, it's a much different idea of what we're exchanging. It's not just something that's taking place, it's a sharing. And it does feel much more fulfilling for sure. And plus, I'll take a good motorcycle ride any day. I always find them fun. I find those very relaxing and freeing because I'm not driving the motorcycle, I'm just riding, so I get to relax.
It's interesting. I have some girlfriend peers that are into cycling. Like they and the husband, they got their Harleys. Well, I guess I was on a motorcycle about twice when I was in my late teens and early 20s, and I don't really feel a yen to go back and do that. But I would like to get up on a horse and get a little training, and I got a lot of, I have a lot of good padding on my permanent saddle here. But you know what? I'm glad we're bringing this up because before this summer is over, I want to get in some horseback riding, and I want to feel at least the rhythm and the movement and the power of the horsepower.
Yeah. Well, and they're so lovely to connect with. They're such healing and lovely animals, and they really do connect with you. That's how the best way to ride with them is because they really are silently communicating with you. It's a very cool experience.
I totally agree. We have another great comment from Vertex Draco, and if I mispronounce that, I apologize. He says, "My whole life is a vacation."
Well, very good.
Yeah, I know, right? But you know, I admire him for being able to take that vacation attitude every day.
Yeah. That reminds me, there is a quote by Milton Berle that says, "Laughter is an instant vacation."
Oh.
And Arizona, if you had enabled the Hangout for people to add pictures, I actually, about an hour ago, made a picture with that quote on it. If you enable that, I'll throw that in.
I will do that.
Oh, nice.
Milton Berle, laughter is an instant vacation.
That is very cool.
Yes, I haven't heard of that before. It's a good one. So as you prepare for your vacation coming up, are there any other thoughts or ideas that you want to share with folks about, embracing the staycation or their vacation with joy?
A couple things come to mind. The first is, I'm big on F words.
Yes.
So, the time of vacation is really giving yourself to free yourself in some ways, or a multiplicity of ways, to allow yourself to be expanded, to allow new things to come to you, especially new awarenesses. So remember that, and tap into, how do I want to free myself? And then fully expect that the universe will respond to your making that inquiry, opening up that door to that. That's the first thing. The second thing is then, make your thing, a combination of play and plan, and realize that, like in all of life, there are yeses and nos. Play ends in Y for yes. Plan ends in no. And the truth is, you need to have yeses and nos, making decisions about things, taking action, and, you need to plan to play, and you need to play to plan. And so those are some of the takeaways.
No, I love that, because it's true. When you have that mindset of that, just because you're saying yes to something doesn't mean that's better than saying no to something. I think we have that judgment too. Sometimes no is the most healing, the most free choice that you're making for yourself. So I like how you kind of compare the two of those, because it's true. It's a mix of both of those things, and that mindfulness helps get you in that frame to really open up and have fun.
Right, and finding a balance between the yeses and nos, knowing that you have to have almost like an equal amount of both.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you had on your mind, or if there's any other audience comments, but I don't know. I think Elaine's brought us to a great closing point now, because I think she's got a great mindset for us to leave and take our own vacation or staycation.
I think so.
As we walk into the weekend. So did you want to fill us in a little bit about what you're working on now, Elaine, or some things that you have coming up?
Well, since I have, it was last October that I launched the Holy Shift Show, and so it's gone almost 3/4 of a year. I've done 28 episodes, and I've started reflecting on whether I want to do some new things and some different things. And so I know as I go through the summer and into the fall, there are likely going to be a mix of different kinds of programs. I'm likely to have some kind of one-on-one interviews. Oh, nice. I'm also going to be doing more programs that are in like webinar jam format, because I want to make them more easily accessible to audiences who are kind of outside of Google+. So I'm going to be experimenting with some of that. I'm taking a course right now where I really want to up-level how I'm doing webcasting, which includes Hangouts. So those are some of the things. Now, next week on June 17th, I'm going to be doing another F-word show. So if you want to find out about that, or you can go over to Just Be Wellness. And I spelled wellness wrong. Ha, 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 ha. There are 2 S's in wellness. But you can sign up to either listen to that live or listen and watch. It tells you what to do there. And it's a good friend, another holistic nurse of mine who runs this Just Be Wellness community. And then the other thing, if people go to my website, www.yeslaugh.com, that's my website, and join my list, it's like I'm now getting a little more intentional about my list building.
Oh.
Because I expect, probably before the end of the summer, we'll see when, I want to do an F-Words experience or course. And so I'll be looking for probably some like beta experiencers, you know, for this thing. So if you're curious about that, please go to my Yes Laugh thing. There's a little opt-in thing to be on my list at the bottom. And one of the things that I'm offering as you opt in, I'm going to have probably a couple times a month where I have something called open office hours.
Oh.
So if you want to drop in during open office hours, you can pick my brain about anything. You can do laughter. There might be other people there when you show up, but then you need to be willing to play with the uncertainty of that.
Right.
But it's like free access to me in a different way. So that might be curious for some people who are kind of being curious about me and what I have to offer. And anyway, so those are some of the things going on and coming up.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a lot of different ways to play. I mean, that's what's great. It's all just a different expression of how you get to play, and then people can engage with you in that way. So that sounds really fun. I'm glad. It sounds exciting, too.
Yeah, so thanks for letting me have the opportunity to, just share with people in the new arenas that I'm venturing into.
Yeah, no problem at all. And so, Arizona, what do you have planned this weekend for your lovely visit now that your granddaughter has finally arrived?
Well, I'm finding it quite an experience relearning how to juggle, because I did it so well before, juggling children and work. But this weekend, Friday and Saturday I take off. I'll be back on Sunday. I don't know what we're going to do. It depends on the weather. If it continues raining, it's going to be a lot of artwork, I think. A lot of painting and stuff like that.
A lot of laughing, because she's a giggler, that one.
Oh, yes, she is. She's so much fun.
Yes. And I am going to be taking a staycation this weekend as I relax after a visit with my parents, because they're lovely people, but I need some time alone to kind of do my own thing and decompress. So that's what I'll be doing this weekend. And hopefully the weather cooperates so I can get outside and enjoy some nice Colorado sun.
So something comes to mind, and I'm going to be bold. Oh, this is the new word I'm adopting. I notice when words keep showing up in front of me, it's like, this is the one to adopt. This is the one to be curious about now. So I'm being bold.
Okay.
And for those that might like to leave this show experience on a happy, uplifting note, if you were taking a vacation to Paris, what might you go and see? Well, you might go to the Moulin Rouge and see someone doing the can-can, Okay? So, if you'd like to do something fun, pretend your fingers are like can-can dancers and laugh, along with, like, the can-can song. Ha, 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Yes, I can have a great vacation or staycation. I can.
That's awesome. I love it. I don't know, Elaine. I just picture that most of what you think in your own mind is always coming out as laughs. That's great.
Yeah, I think I will remember this one, even if I can't do it. Well,
Well, thank you, Thinkables, for dropping by and hanging out with us today.
Yes, and let's everybody do the can dance as we say goodbye.
Gotta laugh.
Ha ha.